Well, sometimes you can get a wee bit ahead of yourself, you know. I think I mentioned I was going to call the owner and get me to come pick the car up. I hadn't test driven the car at that point. When I did take it for a test drive, I didn't get much further than my driveway. Holy lifting, is there a wicked knocking coming from the front end. The lower control arms are shot. The inboard bushing, it's on the noise is coming from the aft bushing, the rear bushing on the left-hand side. Wow, what a racket. I'm going to change both control arms. I was reluctant, you know, if I'm honest, I probably talked myself into the ball joints and the control arms being okay because the bolts can be a big problem. Removing the two forward bolts, or there's one vertical bolt and one forward bolt on each control arm, but the forward bolts are fastened inside the subframe on a nut. The nut is welded internally on the subframe. You cannot access that nut. If you break the spot welds on the nut and get the nut rotating, now you have the bolt trapped in the control arm, and yeah, that's not good. So I didn't want to touch those control arms for that reason. I talked myself into them being okay. The reality is they're not. They need done. So I'm gonna get at that. Yeah, that's it. Look at the vertical movement on that joint. The boot is split as well. I never noticed that before. Both these ball joints are bits. You guys will be well aware of this. The lower control arms are held on by a horizontal bolt and a vertical bolt. And of course, the pinch bolt on the ball joint. Yeah. Okay, so fair warning about that nut that is welded into the subframe and is no accessible. So what I suggest you do is to give yourself, so the nut resides right in here-ish in the subframe. There's the bolt going through the bushing. That's the forward horizontal bolt. See that gap in the subframe? Take advantage of it. Get yourself as much penetrating oil in there as you deem necessary. At the moment, that bolt's not budging, and I'm not going to force it. So I'm going to flood this with penetrating oil and call it a night. Fortunately, that bolt is actually coming out. That bushing is free from the bolt, so I'm good on that side. This one is reluctant. I've got the forward bolt out on the other side, and that one is reluctant, but again, that is accessible. I can cut that. I have a bolt, so should be good to go in that department. I just need to get this to let go. So it's the next day, guys, next morning. Bloody winter's back. I know you can't see the snow through the windows there, but take my word for it, winter's back, which is not unusual. You know, you get some warm weather and then winter comes roaring back to remind you you're nothing in the universe. Yeah, so it looks like waiting for my penetrating oil overnight has paid off. Again, there's a tiny gap on the subframe on both sides, guys. Exploit that to your advantage and get it on the nut on the inside. You'll be sorry if you break that nut. I don't want to keep harping on about that, but that's the reality. If you're going to use an impact, and eventually everybody's tempted, myself included, don't go overboard. That's just a mid-size, mid-torque impact, I would say. And that's a good thing, because when you're undoing it, as you hear the gun start to stall, stop and go the other direction, because if you continue to torque on it, you might break that nut. And again, I've said enough about that nut. Don't break that nut. You don't need that. So I've got 2 of the 3 bolts undone. This bushing on the other side has trapped the bolt, so I'm going to have to cut that. So I'll set about that. Okay, so the problem I'm having here is that bolt, the rear bushing on the control arm, right hand side here,
the bolt is frozen in the bushing, in the steel part of the rubber bushing. You can see I'm starting to pull the bushing out of the control arm itself, right? It'd be a nice idea to press the bolt out if I could, you know. I watched Dr. Sterling's video from about 5 years ago to see if I could use that approach, but unfortunately I can't because it's threaded into the bolt, which is spot welded to the top of the subframe there. If push comes to shove, I can actually, sorry, I know it's not focused that great there. If push comes to shove, I can actually break the spot welds on that nut there, guys, because it is accessible from the top side, and of course it's just spot welded for assembly purposes, you know. But yeah, I'm in the process of actually cutting the bolt, and yeah, you know how that goes. It's just a matter of time and hacking away, right? I tried to heat it, I tried to impact it with a air chisel. Nah, it's really frozen there, so it's just a matter of taking your time and cutting it in a couple of spots probably to get this out. So I saw a mechanic on YouTube. Actually, it was a woman mechanic. Credit to where credit's due. She was using the turbo extractor sockets in order to remove a bolt, a broken bolt. There was no head on it. I've always thought these extractors were synonymous with, I've got this loose, guys, already. It took one hell of a lot of turning. You can see how much bolt was in there still. And yeah, just the correct size turbo socket, you know, whatever one you need. And right on the head of the bolt, right on the end of the bolt here. Again, you know, you think these are synonymous with a nut or a bolt head, or at least I did, but they work like a charm on the other end as well. As I said, I have no idea who that lady is, but credit to her. Jeez. That took long enough. I'll tell you, that was nearly half a dozen blades later. That was a lot of cutting. Granted, maybe they're not the greatest hacksaw blades, but you're hooked if you can't cut that. Wow, what a struggle. So even when the bolt was cut, of course I had to leave some clearance to the subframe. With just that amount of the bushing left, I couldn't get this out. It was still frozen in there. And when you pound on it, of course, even through the nut with a small, you know, punch chisel, the flex in the sheet metal of the subframe here, you're not getting any force on it. So I had to support it from below so it wouldn't flex, and then heat it, and then finally I punched it up with my air hammer there. Wow. Whoa, I didn't want to let go. Okay, so since I've droned on about it for long enough, guys, now that the bolt is removed, you can see the threaded portion. You get this in focus to stay in focus. Inside the subframe here, right? So again, in case you didn't get the idea, the fifth time, this nut is spot welded inside. You don't want to send that spinning by over torquing the nut here and breaking the spot welds. So the left side came out considerably easier, guys. So when I was prying down the control arm here, it came out really easy. Like I didn't even have to hammer on the ball joint end on the bar. Yeah, I guess that ball joint's pretty worn, huh? I'd embarrass myself to show you how worn it is. When I pried down the control arm, the ball let go of the joint. The ball is still in the pinch lug of the steering knuckle. Holy lifting. I'm showing my lack of experience for missing that, when I was prying the wheel with the bar. Now when you're prying the wheel with the bar, guys, it's difficult. You know, it's a lot of load. You're not really getting to see it. I'm not making excuses, but when my boy was in the car moving the wheel, it's much easier. It's difficult to assess a front end by yourself, but looks like I don't have any excuse for missing that. Wow. You think that would have passed safety? It's bone dry. That's only wet from penetrating oil. Popped right up. Look. Oh, embarrassing for me. How the hell did I miss that? Yeah, these tools would be a great help to you guys if you've got a dead blow hammer and some tapered spudgers, you know, just alignment tools that you can line up the holes with. It's a great help. If you went all through all that and you're not anti-seizing the shank of the bolts, I really don't know what they say. Loctite the threads, they are suspension components. Okay, so there's the 2 bolts back in and the new control arm is in situ, guys. I haven't put the pinch bolt on the knuckle yet, but I've torqued the bolts, and you might say, well, the weight it should be on the wheels. No, that's what my jack is for. So I just lifted the control arm a little bit, you know, until the car threatens to come off the jack stands, and that's loaded up enough for me, and I torque it up in that position. So I mean, you by all means do it with the wheels on if you wish. It's going to be at ground level then, of course, and then it gets a bit awkward with the wheel in position, but entirely up to you. Well, that's it, guys. The owner of the car is coming to pick it up in an hour's time, and I'm going for a test drive in the next couple of minutes once I get the wheels back on and torqued up. All the bolts are back in, of course. Everything's all torqued up. As I said, I really should have known better, because the control arms, the ball joints are always gone, the bushings perished, and I was just reluctant to do the job because of what I ended up getting into. I knew it was coming. You know, the bolts are seized in the bushings, and if you're lucky, you don't break the tack welded nut that's on the inside of the subframe. Enough about that. But yeah, it's all done. I don't think anybody doing the safety is going to have issue with the front end now, that's for sure. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. If you've watched it, all the bits and pieces, and even if you haven't, guys, again, neither here nor there. Thanks for watching. Cheers.